What's up, y'all? Welcome to my channel. It's your girl Angee Gonzalez, aka Angee Melange, and as promised, I am coming to y'all with an exclusive video of my DNA results. And what better time to reveal who I am or where I come from than in the celebration of my birthday. That's right, your girl just had a birthday a couple days ago, and I am still celebrating. And I just thought that it was so awesome to be able to receive my results right around the time of my birthday. And I just felt like, what better way to celebrate my existence? What better way to celebrate my birth than to go back into my roots? I am actually logged into the Ancestry.com platform. And just so you guys know, when I did the test, of course, I had to send everything out by mail, and that was mid-December. So overall, the process took about 4 weeks, which with the holidays, that time went really fast. I did sign up to receive text message updates, and so that was really helpful. And so just a couple days before my birthday, I get this text that says my results are in, y'all, at like 4:30 in the morning. Your girl looked at the results at 4:30 in the morning, and my daughter was actually getting ready for school, and I just remember being half asleep and like telling her, well, I'm not gonna tell y'all until I go into the results, but there was something about my results I was just so excited to learn that I shared with my daughter at like 6 o'clock in the morning. And I know she was looking at me like, huh? What, Mom? But when I finally woke up, I was able to look at all of the results, and I'm still taking it in. It's a lot of information. It's a lot to process. But I will say that I do feel a lot better knowing more about my ancestry. So let's go ahead and get right into it. What I'm going to be doing right now is I'm actually screen recording. Y'all, for me to be a techie, I have to say I'm a little bit behind on doing screen records and doing YouTube videos. So I'm a novice. I'm learning. So bear with me. But I am logged in right now to my Ancestry.com account. So let's go ahead and get right into it. What I'm going to be doing right now is I'm actually screen recording. Y'all, for me to be a techie, I have to say I'm a little bit behind on doing screen records and doing YouTube videos. So I'm a novice. I'm learning. So bear with me. But I am logged in right now to my Ancestry.com account. And so as soon as I log in, the landing page lands right where it says DNA tracker. So it tells me that it was activated, that it arrived, that it was processing, and now it shows done. And then there's a link that says details. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. All right. So, I was so nervous when I was reading these. All right, so you scroll down, and then on the left side, it says ethnicity estimate. And like I said, y'all, the first thing that popped out to me, y'all, was Nigeria. Of all of the DNA in my blood, I have more Nigerian than anything. So no surprise there. I feel very closely connected to my roots, contrary to what people might think. And I always love my African people. I have always had a very close connection to Africa, going back. I mean, decades. I don't know. I just always felt comfortable around my African people. And I have no problem with Africans whatsoever. When I hear people, especially my African American brothers and sisters, say things about Nigerians and just Africans in general, I cringe because I feel like they haven't given them an opportunity. They haven't given them a chance. It's just like how, certain people who don't like other races have these stereotypes, right? So I've never had that. I've always just treated people the way they treat me. And I'm sorry, y'all, but Africans, they're the most loving, kind, giving. Yeah, so I've never had any bad experience with my African people. In fact, my ex-husband is actually Nigerian. So, Who knew? I'm pretty sure he'd probably be shocked to find out that I have more Nigerian of all the West African countries. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Discover Origin so we can get a little bit more detailed view of my DNA. So as I mentioned, I am 29% Nigerian. After that is Cameroon, Congo, and Bantus people, so 12%. So those are the largest chunks of my DNA, which clearly are from West African, I'm a descendant of, West African slaves. 9% Portugal. Now, I can tell you from one of my aunt's DNA results, she had mentioned that she had Portuguese. So that 9% can actually be coming from both of my parents, both my maternal and paternal DNA. It goes a little deeper into your parents' DNA when you really look at it, but it tells you that they can't give you the precise breakdown without having your parents' DNA. Now, my father is deceased, so I don't know that there's a way that I can actually get his exact DNA. I mean, I do have siblings, but to have his exact DNA, I don't think will be possible. However, my mom, I am thinking about, having her do a DNA test as well for her knowledge and also for our family as well. So moving on, it goes back to West Africa. I have 7% Ivory Coast and Ghana. Then from there, I have 6% Spain. No surprise. My grandfather was from Puerto Rico, so I'm pretty sure that's where the majority of the Spanish blood came from. Scotland. Whew! Y'all, Scotland, that's up there. Scotland is up there, y'all. Scottish Highlands and Islands, that's crazy to me. I'm just, so far, that is like, I guess that would be considered Caucasian. Scotland, y'all, 6%. Then Mali. So we go back to Africa. So 5% Mali. I haven't added up the total percentage of African blood, but I'm just saying, y'all, if y'all can't tell from these high cheekbones and this wide nose and these lips, and there's other features that I have that have always, to me, have shown that, I have a strong African, DNA. So moving on, we have Wales, 5% Wales. Wow. I don't know much about Wales. I'm not going to click into it at this moment, but, just an overview, 5% Wales. Next is 3% indigenous Puerto Rico. So that is because my grandfather was actually born on the island. My grandfather, Hector Anatino Gonzalez, Sr., because my dad was junior, my brother is the third, and I understand that I have another uncle who was my dad's brother, also named Hector Gonzalez, but he wasn't a junior. So maybe he has a different middle name, or maybe he is, I don't know. He might be the third, I don't know. But he had a different mom than my dad. So moving on, 3% England and Northwestern Europe. So we got a little bit European, 3%. And next, Ireland. So I'm a little Irish. I got 3% Irish in me. Then we go back to Africa, to Benin and Togo. I have 2% Benin and Togo. Next, Germanic Europe, 2%. 2% Basque. I'm not sure where Basque is, but it looks like it's somewhere near Norway. I could be wrong. I have 1% Senegal, so we back in Africa. I have 1% Egypt, again, back in Africa. If you can't tell, I'm very proud to be African American. 1% Anatolia and the Caucasus. Okay, so there's a Caucasian, 1%. I'm 1% Jewish, 1% Norway, and 1% France, y'all. Your girl's French. 1%. Oui, oui. Je m'appelle Angélique. All right, you guys. So next, one of the first things that came up for me, one of the first people that matched with me was actually my older half brother, Esteban. And I didn't know my brother my whole life. I knew he existed. My father had, my father became a dad at like 16, I believe. And so by the time I was born, my older brother and his mom had moved away. I always knew he was alive and he was somewhere, but never, and still to this day, haven't met him. I did get in touch with him a few years ago. Actually, his wife found me on Facebook. And so his Hispanic name is Esteban, but he also goes by Steve or Steven. That's the American version of Esteban. So yeah, so it was just really interesting because I was excited, but our dad had passed away. He never got a chance to meet our dad. And so I really enjoyed, hearing, his upbringing and hearing about what his life was like, and got to share a little bit about my life. But after that, we haven't really been in contact since. So if you're watching this, brother, hi, love you, and hope someday that we will be able to meet. I don't know when that will be, but God willing, we will be able to meet someday. Some of the other matches that I have are like some of my first cousins that I know are my relatives. And then there's all these different random people that are coming up as like first and second cousins, second and third cousins. I've even had some people inbox me and say, hey, do you have any more information? So they may be seeking maybe their parents or family, etc. So I'm gonna help out where I can, but I gotta be honest, it's overwhelming. I had a lot of people reaching out to me, and so there's a lot to dig into on the DNA matches, a lot to dig into, because you have to first, you have the ability to say whether you recognize them or not. If you don't, you have an option where you can learn more about them, about their family tree. You can ask, you can inbox them and ask questions. So I definitely still have a lot of work to do. I'm just excited to, like I said, just know what my DNA is made up of. And of course, to simply put, I've always identified as mixed Puerto Rican and Black. But where did my Black ancestry come from? We now know. Where my Hispanic ancestry comes from, we now know. And y'all, I'm more Black than anything. Your girl is more Black than anything. Quit playing. I'm serious. I want to do the math for the record. So we have 29% Nigerian, 12% Cameroon, Ghana, Ivory Coast and Ghana, I'm 7%. I'm 5% Mali, 2% Benin and Togo, 1% Senegal, and 1% Egypt. And so those were all of the African countries. So let's go ahead and add that up. Let's see. You guys, I'm 57% African. 57% of my DNA. That's more than half. So I'm not half and half. That's over half of my ancestry that comes from Africa. And we look at like the Caucasus and the Europe, it's less than 10%, you guys. I have more Spanish and Portuguese and Spain, 9%, 6%. So that's 15% of Hispanic, okay, DNA. 15%, which is about right, because my dad was, the way that we viewed him was half and half, because my grandma was African American, my granddad was born in Puerto Rico, right? But yeah, you guys, I would definitely recommend, if you're someone like me who's curious about your DNA, your ancestry, I highly recommend doing it. It's totally worth it. It gives you a sense of identity, knowing where your ancestors came from. The next step on this journey is to trace back to slavery, to see if I'm able to see you know, because my grandmother was born in 1914, my mom's mom, and my mom's dad was born in like 1898. So, you know, that's enough history that if we could go back like 2 more generations, we will be in the slaves. So that's my next journey. I will definitely give you guys an update. I hope y'all have enjoyed this video. Like I said, you guys, I got this test like in 2021, and it took me until 2023 to open it up and just do it. And you know, there were so many things that transpired in my life that you know, delayed that process. But nevertheless, I'm glad that the test was still valid. It hadn't expired. And I'm just excited to be able to be transparent and share this with you all. Somebody else may be out there considering doing it. I encourage you to do it for yourself, if no one else. And again, this was another gift that I wasn't expecting for my birthday. So if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you all. If you've been here before, thank you for your support. If this is your first time here, please be sure to subscribe. Lots more video and great content to come. Until next time, you guys, peace.